Hello everyone. Today I'll be explaining some very basic programming concept that every beginner should know. When I first made this video, I titled it Programming Concepts, but then I realized that it's like a mix of computing concepts and programming concepts. However, that's okay. It's good to know those things when you code, what happens behind the scene. So this is like a combination of computing and programming concepts. I'll begin by what is programming and move up till what is a variable. I hope you find this beneficial. So let's get started. What is programming slash coding? Programming is a set of instructions that is provided to a computer for execution. Before knowing what programming was in the technical terms, whenever I heard that word, I thought it meant like scheduling or adding something to a calendar, and then I realized it has nothing to do with that. But um, it means what I told you. So now you know what programming meant. What is a computer? A computer is a machine that does calculations. So a computer is not just like the desktop that you usually see or a laptop. Things such as this here, which is a calculator, can be considered a computer because calculators do various forms of computations and a lot of calculations. And behind the scenes, a computer does, when you write your code, behind the scenes, it converts that into something called machine code, which consists of zeros and ones. And through various calculations, it's able to say or understand what you mean in your code. So these are two programming concepts to know, and now let's move forward to variables. Variables is a very important building block of any programming language. Now, except if you're coding in machine language, which is zero and ones, then this is something that you'll need um, in any programming language that you're studying or learning. Variable is a name that is assigned to an address in the random access memory of a computer. A computer usually has two different types of memory. One of them is RAM, which is the random access memory, and then the other one is ROM, which is read-only memory. But I won't get into that today because if I do, it will make this video way longer and I don't want that. So when you declare a variable and assign it a value, that gets stored in the random access memory of a computer, and the variable that you have points to an address. And we use variables to make it easier for us because memory locations where those variables are stored are usually represented in hexadecimal values, which are very hard to remember. So by using like common names for variables, it makes it easier for us programmers, computer scientists, coders, etc. to remember where we have stored its value. Various programming languages declare their variables in different ways. For example, in C and Java, to declare a variable, you need to give it a type and a name. Now, according to their documentations, there are different types you can give. I'll list some here, some are here, and let's say I want to declare a variable called age and assign it a value called the value of 10. So from the types that I have here, the best one is to use, I'll say, is int, because an age is usually an absolute non-negative number like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, You won't see someone tell you my age is 18.3. No, so it's usually not a floating number, or it doesn't have a decimal point. So using the type integer is the best thing we can use at this point. So to declare my variable, I'll say int, which stands for integer, age. That is, we have declared a variable age and assigning the type integer equals 10. So now I am assigning it a value which is 10, and I end it with a semicolon because that shows where the end of my instruction is. That is like a delimiter, so it shows the end of the end of the instruction. And that is for like Java and C. But then we have other programming languages like Python or PHP or Perl, where you don't need to provide a type when you are declaring a variable. In comparison to what we did previously in Python, you just need to say age equals 10, and that's it. You don't even need to use a semicolon, because in Python it identifies the end of an instruction by the way you ident your code. So these are some basic things that I believe that are good to know, and I might make other videos in the future. Maybe not, it depends on if I have time and if I see people are finding it beneficial. So that's it for today. Bye. If you like this video, make sure you click like, subscribe, comment, and share it with your friends.